Yo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy ColtsTalk, and ladies and gentlemen, the Colts beat the Kansas City Chiefs, but we still have a main issue that we need to discuss. As you can see from the title, the Colts need to fix the offensive line. This cannot be a consistent problem moving forward into the season. The Colts shown that they can go out there and win a football game if all sides are clicking. Now, the ending of that game against the Kansas City Chiefs, that drive, was something different from the Colts. It's shown a little bit of more consistency from the offense, and it's showing you what the potential could be for the offense if Matt Ryan had a little bit more protection. Now, to change the pace, the Colts did switch up the tempo a little bit. At the end of the game, they ran a little bit more fast paced, up tempo to try to keep the Chiefs off their feet and they tried to stop them from keeping set basically. So the Colts did what they had to do on the offensive drive. Matt Ryan drove down the field effortlessly, and he did what he had to do. Matt Ryan has that clutch gene in him. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that by now. And the offensive line did what they had to do. They held them just a little bit longer to give Matt Ryan some type of time to get the football out and to hit the wide receivers. And again, at the end of the game on that game-winning drive, before Jelani Woods scored, the offensive line did they shown some type of protection, but in my opinion, it's still not enough to hold off going into the rest of the season, because we still got a lot of stacked defensive lines to go up against and a lot of good pass rushers, and one of them happened to be in Tennessee, which is our rival that we play soon as well. And this thing has to be fixed. The Colts came out multiple times talking about how they're not going to adjust, and this is a growing process for the offensive line for the Colts, and that is not good enough. Now, of course, we gave them the benefit of the doubt with the wide receiver group. They stepped up a little bit, but that also showed you that if Michael Pittman Jr. and Isla Pierce, if one of them goes down, it's going to be a long game. Both of those guys against the Kansas City Chiefs had some huge plays. Huge plays. Alec Pierce had like 3 receptions. Michael Pittman Jr. had 8. And all of those plays that they caught the football were huge plays, man. They're big impact guys, and they're definitely needed. But also, we do need a solid protection on the offensive line to hold Matt Ryan so he can get the football out to these guys, man. And, like at the beginning of the game with him getting sacked at least 4 times a game at 37 years old is not good at all. Like, even Phillip Rivers, when we had that offensive line and he was getting sacked, I think he had a better protection than Matt Ryan does this year. And they're both old quarterbacks, but even still, this offensive line needs fixing. Matt Pryor needs fixing. He had a better day against Kansas City, but he still does not belong at left tackle. I don't think he's a left tackle at all. You know that as well. He needs fixing. At the right tackle, Braden Smith, we don't know what his issue is. We don't. He's not injured. He's just out there. Like, that has to be fixed. Danny Pinter at right guard, never again. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see him get put on his butt every week by an elite rusher. Like, Chris Jones literally sat him down. Like, he got to go up against Simmons next week. And that defensive line for the Tennessee Titans, or whoever matches up, whoever they see, they're going to put on them. Because this is a weak offensive line. Quentin Nelson can't keep double teaming and trying to help the left tackle. Ryan Kelly can't keep trying to help the right guard. It's just as simple as that. We can't have 2 guys trying to double team and guard multiple people, because they're usually sending 5 or maybe blitzing and sending 6 to 7. Like that, when the blitz last week against the Kansas City Chiefs, when the A-gap was literally shot, walked through, it's pretty much due to being helped. Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly trying to do everything, and they left the middle open. And it's just miscommunication. It's something you don't want to see from the offensive line, especially from the Indianapolis Colts, where you got a guy like Jonathan Taylor in the backfield that can't see a lane because there's no protection on the offensive line. So I think the offensive line struggles play a huge impact, definitely into the passing game and the run game as well. And that comes from the center and the quarterback communication as well, because if they're not on par and communicating, what do you think Jonathan Taylor's going to do when he gets the football? He doesn't know what to do. So, like, even last year when Quentin Nelson said, hey, give Jonathan Taylor the ball for this run, and he had that big run, it's all due to communication on that offensive line, literally. In my opinion, I think a lot of that does help from the offensive line, and the offensive line now is terrible, and is literally not helping Jonathan Taylor at all to get that explosiveness. He's still having a decent year. Like, he's topping rushing as well still, but it's not the Jonathan Taylor that we're used to seeing. Now, of course, having a new quarterback definitely plays a role to that. So going into the season, I think he'll start to explode a little bit better. It would be great for him to go off next game against the Tennessee Titans because we do not have a division win yet. And they are definitely back on track as well after last week. So we need to get this all figured out before we get to at least week 8. Simple as that, because the schedule does not get easier. We have a lot of good games moving forward down the stretch on this schedule. So the offensive line definitely needs fixing. Who would you want to see moved at positions on the offensive line at left tackle, right guard, right tackle? You let me know all these things on the rotation change in the comment section. This is Marcus, and until next time, you've been Culture Shock.